Hey everyone, it's Peter from Theme Park Crazy, and I have a bit of a different video today. As you might know from looking at my community tab, I'm planning yet another dark rides video, this time on bizarre dark rides. Last time we talked about disturbing dark rides, but these dark rides are less disturbing and more of, what is this? What's going on? That kind of thing. Now that doesn't mean there won't be any disturbing rides on this list. I've come to find out since my last video that I greatly underestimated the amount of dark rides out there, especially weird dark rides. Honestly, some of the rides I found that people have told me about make the Mine of Lost Souls at Canopy Lake Park look completely sane by comparison. Now, of course, like with all my videos, I posted a link to a poll where viewers can vote to determine the ordering of my top 20 strangest dark rides video. However, there's a bit of a problem with that. After I initially posted the link to that poll, I found out about even more strange dark rides out there. And so I didn't get to add them when I first started polling people, so naturally they're a bit behind. And also, some of these dark rides I've heard about are really obscure. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like 99% of my audience never heard of them before. So what I want to do with this video is introduce you to some of these really obscure dark rides, and also include a link to my poll in the description so you can decide if any of these dark rides qualify for this list I'm making, and how strange they are compared to the other selections. So with that said, I'm going to start off this video with what the thumbnail advertised. Now this first ride, I'm not sure exactly what the name is. One video suggested the name was Prehistoric River, and that was from the park, so I'll just go with that. So this first ride is Prehistoric River at Dam Sen Park in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Now there are a lot of dinosaur-themed rides out there. Take for example Jurassic Park River Adventure at Islands of Adventure. There's also the more infamous Jurassic Jungle Boat Ride in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Now I've discussed that ride and its disturbing nature multiple times before, but somehow Prehistoric River manages to be even more messed up. Now you start off by boarding a boat, and the first thing you'll notice is that these dinosaur animatronics look like no other dinosaur animatronics that I've personally seen. A lot of them are covered in fluorescent paint. Some of them also have what look like human teeth where their lips are supposed to be. And a lot of them have LED lights built into them. For example, there's this iguanodon with flashing human eyes that are unblinking, and it has just human teeth in its mouth, and it's just like complete nightmare fuel. I've seen videos of children screaming in terror at these animatronics. And really, the only thing these animatronics really do is move their head left to right and snap their jaws, and that's it. And here's the thing about this. Some of these animatronics get so close to the boat that you could actually easily reach out and touch them. There are videos of people just reaching their hand up and petting them because whoever designed this ride made the animatronics way too close to the boat. And in some footage you can see that some parts of these dinosaurs are made out of foam. You can actually see foam, like bits of foam dangling off of the dinosaurs where people have reached out and touched them and probably rip the foam. And even though some of the dinosaurs are out of reach, you can still see big chunks ripped out of them, and you can see the mechanics through the rips in the foam and rubber. Now aside from the animatronics, there are moments on this ride where just random props swing out and actually come in contact with the passengers. There's a jellyfish and a fluorescent tiki head with tentacles, I guess. And there's also this big plush spider that you can literally touch. It literally goes right in front of the boat's path. Honestly, if I were on that boat and I didn't know that was coming, I would die of a heart attack. As you can see here, the mechanism to raise and lower the spider is broken, so it's just kind of hanging there, and the guests actually have to push it out of the way. And it's like, get your butt out of my face, dude. Now, the strangest part of this ride by far is the lighting. It's just constantly flashing red and blue and green over and over and over again. And as a result, it's really hard to tell what's going on here. There are parts of the ride that don't constantly flash between colors. but the lighting is so harsh, it's like some kind of psychedelic dream. Think about Land Before Time meets Pineapple Express. In fact, I was thinking about this ride today while I was on a walk, and I decided that if I were to take control of this ride, I would, just for fun, theme it to the Land Before Time and call it Littlefoot's Scary Dream Simulator, or LSD Simulator for short, because I think it would be very fitting. Next, I want to talk about Dreamy Land. This was a ride that operated at the Trafford Centre in Manchester, England. And again, I don't know if I pronounced Trafford right. Even though I do speak English, I am terrible at a lot of British words. Like, when I see this, I see the River Thames, but no, it's pronounced the River Thames. And to me, I was born in Derby, Connecticut, so when I see this, I think it's called Derbyshire. But no, it's Derbyshire. So if I pronounced Trafford wrong, I apologize. So this ride, for a long time, was lost media. That was until YouTuber Lauren Hardy decided to actually reach out to the ride's designer and get some footage that the ride designer had. Now, the ride's designer, Miranda Ricks, was kind enough to allow me to use this footage as well. So I want to give a big shout out to her. Thank you so much. I will thank you again in my upcoming Dark Rides video too. But this ride was pretty much a strange combination of like the Teletubbies and In the Night Garden. Basically, this was a shooting dark ride where you shot targets and tried to protect the Dreamies, whose job it is to make happy thoughts and good dreams and all of that fluffy stuff. Now, in this ride, the Dreamies are being threatened by the Nightmares, and your job is to shoot the Nightmares. And, sorry, I just find it hilarious that this ride, which basically is very cute and wholesome and whimsical, your job is to literally shoot the villains. And this ride is really a trip. You've got these cartoony characters, you've got these colorful set designs, and you've got this character who's wearing this Zoolander-type outfit that I'm pretty sure would be a one-way ticket to fashion jail. And the whole vibe of this ride is, whoa, look at the colors, man. And I really gotta give it credit. It's very unique, that it's clear that a lot of time and effort went into it. And I want to iterate that just because a ride is bizarre and just because it makes the list, that doesn't mean it's a bad ride. Far from it. Miranda Ricks and her team did an amazing job with this ride, and I'm honestly shocked that it's been lost media for so long. So there's really nothing disturbing here. Again, this is why I made the disturbing Dark Rides video separate. Well, I guess there is one thing that's disturbing, and that's this snake with like a baby's face with fangs. This is a creepy little guy. And you might think that this giant mutant carrot is creepy, but I disagree. I think he's an adorable little doof. Sorry. Honestly, I'm really glad that such high quality footage of this ride exists. And hopefully it will make the top 20 for my next video. And if not, I want to give this ride its own video in the future, because it has a very interesting history and development. Moving on, I want to talk about Alton Towers next. Now, if you live in the UK and you're a longtime fan of Alton Towers, you probably have heard of this ride. But believe it or not, I haven't heard about this ride until very recently, and there's a good chance that a lot of people outside of the UK haven't ever heard of this ride, and it's really too bad, because this ride is weird, but in the best way. This is called Toyland Tours. And it's pretty much the textbook definition of whimsical. So basically, you get on this boat and you're taken through this magical, mystical toyland with all of these giant toys and some extremely creative visuals too. For example, you have a bouncy castle making section where the castles are literally bouncing up and down. Then you have this area, which is basically like snail race car driving. They predicted that movie from DreamWorks. Oh yeah, it was called Turbo. Then you've got bath toys, teddy bears, trains, desserts. Oh, and you've got a guest appearance from Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep, there's Sonic right there, and you could see some Sonic gameplay footage right above him. So before the days of Sonic Spinball, this was Sonic's first introduction to Alton Towers. Now the fourth ride I want to discuss is actually one that was considered for my disturbing Dark Rides video, but didn't make the cut. And this is Fantasy Dream at South Korea's Lotte World. Now, Lotte World is probably the most famous theme park in South Korea, but this ride is often not talked about, at least in the West. Now from start to finish, this ride is really a trip. So you start off by entering through a clown's mouth, and then there's a bunch of candy, and after a rainbow light-up tunnel, the first thing you see is a bunch of colored orbs and this giant animatronic bearded man reaching out towards you. Not gonna lie, it's kind of unsettling having a giant human figure just in the semi-darkness like that. Then it kind of takes an Alice in Wonderland turn with a bunch of flowers with faces. And also there's what appears to be a talking forest of candy. Then you're inside of a candy castle where the walls and ceiling are literally covered with jelly beans. For some reason there's a wizard here, and I'll be sure to look up why. Then, after what looks like a candy carnival, you come across this dragon who I assume stuffed himself eating the wall. Honestly, this ride is definitely a weird one, and I'd be shocked if it didn't reach the top 20. Finally, there's this ride at Austria's Wiener Prater called Iceberg. First of all, what's up with the polar bears? They look creepy. Second, this ride has a scene where there's 3 baby penguins and all of a sudden they're singing, "I like to move it, move it." Then there are these penguins that are spinning around to that song Right Round by Flo Rida and Kesha. Then there's a penguin that apparently flashes you. And finally there's this. I can't show this, but I'll put a link in the description. The best part is that during the Halloween season they have live actors there. One year they had a killer polar bear that chased you down. And by the way, that is the Red Coaster channel in that polar bear costume, who also provided this footage. So thank you very much, Killer Polar Bear. All of that said, there's still a lot more rides on the list. These are just the ones that I felt were the more obscure ones, and I wanted to give every ride on the list a fair shot. So click on the Google Forms link in the description to vote, and I'll include a playlist of a bunch of these rides videos. All of that said, this is Theme Park Crazy, and I'll see you soon.